this Total Film magazine came out, and it just unleashed the dick.
Woo.
It unleashed the dick of news.
Smelled like flowers and cum.
All over the place. So the number one thing, the first thing in this article, and we're going to get into pictures and all that stuff too, but one of the very first things this article does is it reveals the fact that they're not shooting Halloween Ends until the new year. They did have plans to shoot it earlier. Jay, your camera just died, but I'll pull this up while you're fixing that. And I just
touched it. I literally just touched it, dude, and I saw myself freeze.
I just touched it, Steven. Just the tip. But yeah, they're not going to shoot Ends until the new year. So I think some of us thought they were going to shoot a little bit sooner than that. So we're definitely not going to get Ends until. So if they're not shooting it until January, that gives them 10 months to shoot it, edit it, market it, and slap it on the screens by October. Is that questionable? I don't know. It took them like 40 days or something to make the first one. So
40 days and 40 nights. I mean, Josh Hartnett couldn't do it, but maybe they can.
I don't know. That's something worth paying attention to.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, so they're gonna start filming. What'd you say on New Year's?
Well, it just says they're waiting till the new year, so maybe not even like January 2nd. You know what I mean? Like who
moving
knows?
Fast,
moving
hard.
Do we get another year's break before Kills and Ends? Certainly not.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much they're going to put in. I mean, I don't know. I read that article too. I feel like what they're doing is I don't know. I feel like they're being cautious about what they're promising, what they're going to do, because they know that there's a possibility of some other crazy shit happening. But the good news is about the overall feel I got from the article is that, and we said this before, when it was delayed, they had all that extra time to go back and look at what works and what's better, and they were able to rework the shit and retool it. So I don't know.
David Gordon Green says, the script has evolved a little bit since last year. We had the opportunity to wake up with a new idea, meditate on it for a year, and see how that's evolved in a really good way. The year hiatus will also feed into the structure of the film, which will jump forward a few years following the events of Halloween Kills. We're able to use the authentic time clock between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, so that's interesting. There will be more of a linear time that acknowledges the reality of our years between the productions. It allows us to imagine what these characters' lives have been like after having processed these events over a few years. So what they're saying is originally it was supposed to be a trilogy that takes place on the same night. Because of COVID, because the filming getting pushed back, it gave them the chance to rethink it, and now they're going to set Ends a couple years after the events of Halloween Kills.
I don't mind it.
I don't either.
I feel like it's also showing, dude, think of this. Like, I think it's going to, like, Halloween Kills is going to have a fucking weird, crazy ending. If it's going to be a few years, because it's saying it's going to give them time to reflect where their lives have been. I feel like Michael may, quote unquote, die at the end of Halloween Kills. Take, and I've said this, take Laurie with him, and that was supposed to be the end. And then you jump forward a few years. Everyone's trying to adapt and get over the fact that this monster had invaded Haddonfield again and taken their beloved Laurie, their beloved Activia spokesperson, from them, and now they have to deal with that. And then Michael comes back for whatever reason to maybe take down Allison. I like that. I think that's a great idea.
You're still operating under the assumption that Laurie's going to be dead.
Well, I feel like she's gonna. I feel like when we had said before that she go out in a blaze of glory, I feel like Halloween Kills, because of the crazy thing, it's just this cinematic action-packed kind of horror movie. I think that's what she does. I think that she goes out in a blaze of glory with Michael, thinking she puts him down at the end.
Well, but here's the thing though, with what she says in here, there's an article, there's a part in this where Jamie Lee Curtis says, and we'll circle back around to the Ends thing because we do got to talk about that because that is a big difference. But she says in her own words in this article, Jamie Lee Curtis does. She says, when she's talking about trauma and all that stuff like that, she's like, we don't get to see a lot of, her exact words were, Laurie Strode has been constricted by the trauma she suffered in 1978, and the rest of her life is a prison of that trauma. God, she loves that word. Until you are set free. There is not a lot of colors to her. Hopefully in Halloween Ends, we will get to see some color. So Jamie Lee Curtis is telling the interview, and now I know the only way she's not in Ends is if they're purposefully having her say this to throw people off the scent that she's dying.
Possibly, but I was going to say two things. One, you're lying. And two, also I was going to say, to see some color and to throw the shackles of trauma away or whatever. I swear to God, dude, if they do this, it's going to be fucking crazy. If she comes in like a Jedi ghost and Halloween Ends and is trying to direct. Like if she's having a fucking dream.
She's gonna be Mufasa in the sky.
Yeah, it's
Listen to me, Allison.
Look at all the stars in the sky. No, but no.
Just admit that she's alive and Ends, Jake.
No, I'm not, because I think it's going to be a flashbacks.
You played yourself.
I'm telling you, flashbacks. I swear to God, if I'm wrong, I will eat a banana pepper because I'm not going to eat anything super hot. But I think it's flashbacks, dude. I don't care what she's saying. I don't think it's a significant role because I know in also the article they move on and say that she is not the main star of Halloween Kills, nor will she. It would probably be even lessened by Halloween Ends. They're trying to move on from Laurie.
That's another thing they say here, but I mean that goes to tell you right there. I mean, if she's not the star of Kills, they're not going to have her not be the star of the movie she dies in. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. Anyways, I guess the whole point of the first part of this is that it's going to take place a few years later.
Comb your hair.
Comb your hair. I'm going to Yosemite.
Comb your hair.
I'm going to Yosemite.
Michael Myers is dead.
Here's the thing, though. Like, a lot of people are really pissed. A lot of people are very upset that I saw yesterday that the trilogy's not going to take place in the same night as promised originally, as they said originally.
Who cares?
I honestly don't. Yeah, I honestly don't. I don't get the anger about it. What I've heard people saying is that, oh well, now it's going to be the same old thing. Where's Michael going to? They're going to think Michael's dead, I guess, or Michael's going to hide, or what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. I like it because it's a mystery. It adds to the mystery of how Halloween Kills is going to end. It adds to the mystery of the whole thing, and whatever happened, for whatever reason they decided to put it a couple years into the future. Whatever it was an idea that they had the chance to sleep on, think about, converse about. They had plenty of time when this movie was pushed back an entire year to really lock that in. So to me, whatever idea they had, it was a good idea, and I trust it. So I don't think it's a problem.
Where in the world is Michael Myers from Haddonfield? I did see. I think someone commented that people were losing their minds about the news that it was not going to take place in the same night. I'm like, I don't really, because they're like, oh, he's going to be 70 years old. He's already an old fuck now. Like Michael Myers is an old crusty fuck, and he's doing work, dog. Have you seen what's his name? The guy that directed the fucking makeup, the makeup extraordinaire, the one that directed the remake of Sex Machine.
Yeah, I am Sex Machine.
What's his name?
Tom Savini.
Tom Savini, man. Tom Savini's like 150,000 years old and looks fucking like he could take your head off in the UFC ring. That motherfucker is stacked.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about your age, first off. And second off, I don't care if Michael Myers is walking towards me with butcher knife in one hand, a can of Ensure in the other, and fucking going along on a wheelchair. I'm still going to be terrified of that motherfucker, and he will get to me eventually. I don't mind that at all. So I don't care how old he is. This is their story, and I like what they're doing with it. And if he's 70,000 years old, fuck it. I mean, I've seen The Mummy.
Hey, look,
The Mummy is 100 million years old, and he came up. He's like, death is only the beginning.
We're already talking about someone who may or may not be supernatural. So the age thing doesn't bother me. And also, you're talking about a few years, 3 years. And what's interesting is he's saying here is that we don't have to everybody aged. So it's funny because the way the script's written, everybody's aged a few years. Well, because the movie's pushed back, everyone's aged a few years. You know what I mean? So it lines up with how the actors look, and the story lines up. So yeah, I think it's going to work out just fine. I don't think it's too big of a deal. And honest to God, I remember them saying at one point that the whole idea is that the original thing, it was originally written to take place all on the same night. But I kind of went in one ear and out of the other. I never really, when I thought about Ends, counted on it being on the same night. I just never thought of it that way. It doesn't.
Well, just anyway. Never. I mean, if they decide not to do it like in Halloween Ends, and again, that's going to be an extraordinary a movie. It's going to be a crazy movie because it's going to wrap up everything in this trilogy. I don't mind if it's not in one night. The idea seems cool that in 3 movies it all takes place in one night, but I like the idea. Let us have a moment. Let's all just relax, have some water, calm down. Nothing is wrong. And then Michael fucking pops up. That's what I like.
Fucking Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't see it coming. That is what I'm talking about, dude. I like the idea because you're going to focus on the same evening as Halloween 2018 with Halloween Kills, and this fear has gripped the town and it's sweeping through left and right, affecting everybody. boys and girls, left and right, night and day. It doesn't matter. You're all fucked. And they're feeding into this crazed sense of paranoia. And then in the middle of it is Lori trying to survive and teaching her daughter and granddaughter how to fight Michael. And Michael is on this fucking vengeful trip. He fucked up your fire department. He's going to fuck up your town. And he's not going to pay for that pack of certs that he just stole from 7-Eleven. He's just not going to do it. You see this? I'm taking it. That's what it's going to be like. And I can't wait. And then once that happens, then Halloween ends, you calm down. But you get the ending with Halloween Kills where everybody's like, that's how a Halloween movie typically would end. I think it's where Michael looks like he dies, probably at the end of Halloween 4, where he gets shot. He goes over a bridge or something, and he's like shot multiple times. And they're like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
And then Michael pops up like Matika I can't say his name. Akimbo, Atumbo. Not in my house. Mutombo. I can't say his name. Not in my house. Not in my house.
Yeah, it's I think we're both on the same page about that. We're fine with it. Some other stuff that came out, and we'll also look at the pictures here in just a little bit that came out from this. But where'd it go? 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 Here it is.
That's what I said all the time when it comes out of the vagina. Where'd it go? I can't find it. It's so small.
One of the things is that Jamie Lee Curtis said that she will have a smaller role in this. Actually, David Gordon Green said that. He said, Lori is a voice of both insight and reason that is trying to give a volatile community some sense of purpose here. It's less about vengeance and more about a calculated philosophy of how to process evil. She's not the main character of Halloween Kills, but she is the emotional core of it. I could always turn to her for help in voicing these questions of the themes of this movie. And we talked about this a little bit already.
It's like Yoda in Empire Strikes Back. She'll be like a little Yoda in a hospital bed, passing out wisdom. She'll be passing out wisdom like Yoda.
Tonight,
she's like, how you get so big eating food like this?
But yeah, it's, you know what? So I guess we get to have our cake and eat it.
Michael, not far. Michael, not far.
We get to have our cake and eat it too, because, okay, as I said, I really, talk about whether or not we think she's going to die in Kills or Ends, because you want Ends to be a new story moved away from Lori and focus on Alice and some of the other characters. It seems like we might be getting that movie in Kills. Like, Kills may be focused on Allison and everybody else, with Jamie just popping out in really important times, or Lori just popping in really important times for the emotional core of the movie, as he says. But really, this Kills instead of Ends could be the movie that gets away from Lori a little bit. Like, it's not about Michael and Lori for a little while. Yeah, because
they're going to bury her. They're going to put her in the ground 6 feet deep.
She's 6 feet deep. She's not going to die.
Hey, well, I'll take a shit. Hey, what's in the bowl? Wheaties or Cheerios? Because I'm taking a shit in them, Kelly. That's how I feel like David Gordon Green is looking at everybody. He's like, I'm taking a shit in your Cheerios. And I can't wait for you to be disappointed. No, it's not going to be disappointing. Either way, yeah, I definitely feel like David Gordon Green has, and I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis herself is pretty much done with the role. Not in like a terrible, like, I'm fucking so sick of that shit. Like, it's time to move on. And I feel like, yes, Halloween Kills will be the beginning of them definitely moving away from that character, because I mean, it even said that she's not the main character. I mean, she's not the main character.
Yeah, and
I feel like they're going to focus on Allison a lot.
Yeah, I do too. And he says that about her in this. He says that she's fucking angry. She's pissed. So, it's
because that asshole boyfriend threw her fucking phone at that cheese dip.
Yeah, and Michael killed her dad. She still has to process that. We haven't watched her process her dad's death yet. So
well, her dad did say peanut butter crutch.
Got peanut butter on my penis, and I got a knife in my chesties. Actually, I got strangled by some bells. No big deal, just strangled by a little bit of bells. Yeah, I did. Anyway. Some other stuff that they said. So Lori's not going to be the focal point of the movie. That's super interesting. Some interesting stuff David Gordon Green said about how he feels about Michael. He loves him and he thinks he's got a nice ass. But he also said,
I do too.
You don't want to reveal too much. I don't want to know Michael's psychological backstory. Shot to Rob Zombie's nuts. I feel like the mystery is best left unsaid. Shot to Rob Zombie's other nut. I don't want to see too much of him. I want to be very specific about how he's lit. The mystique of Michael, I'll say, is extremely important to preserving what's scary about him.
God damn.
My obsessive impulse is to be very protective of how we see the shape, so less is more. And yeah, I don't always win those battles, but I'm always fighting.
If I were listening to David Gordon Green tell me this in an interview, I was like, go tell it on the mountain. Woo! It would be, you're preaching to the choir, my good sir. I mean, David Gordon Green is simply the best. Better than all the rest. Fuck yeah, dude. I love that. You got to
In my head.
maintain the mystique. That is the idea. That is what we have said for fucking years. Since 2013 when we were talking about
He
Halloween.
walked by Rob Zombie in the hallway and went, cockshot.
Yeah.
He didn't mean anything about Rob
Well,
Zombie
like,
when he said it. I'm just kidding.
how's it feel not to be number one? No. Or like walk by Rob Zombie. He's like, what happened? What happened? Where's your fans? What happened? I'm kidding. He's not. Rob, I'm not taking pot shots at Rob Zombie because I can't wait for the monsters. Cool. Anyway, yeah, but I love that. We have said that for years. And I think every hardcore Halloween fan or just any Halloween fan in general that likes the original John Carpenter version or vision of Michael Myers, the less you keep the audience in the dark about what Michael is and where Michael comes from and what motivates or drives Michael, just to keep it in a very vague sense that it is just evil incarnate, that makes him fucking scary. Because I'll tell you why. It's very simple formula. The fact is, this kid grew up in a suburban neighborhood, upper middle class it looked like, and just decided on one night on Halloween to fucking butcher his sister. And then stare at a wall, not talk, not say anything, and plan this mass murder 20 years later or whatever it was, when he was 21 years old, and probably shit his pants and didn't care and made the nurses clean it up, and he didn't give a fuck. That's scary. I mean, because that could happen anywhere. That could happen anywhere in America, any street in America. Is the fact that it's not the little boy Michael Myers that really is important here. It's the essence of evil. I think that is what has a lot of directors that have come and gone from Halloween have forgotten about, because it's easy to look at something like, Freddy Krueger, where, evil has a face and he's very, he goes, no one gives a fuck what you think, bitch. Like that's, they think, oh, it's Freddy Krueger, so it's easy. Or Jason, I always think of Jason as more of a natural force or something. Like I always feel like Jason you could say he's like Swamp Thing. He protects his goddamn forest. That's he's just the nature of force. But Michael is always supposed to have been different, and he was different for a long time. The fact that you keep the audience in the dark about what his motivations are and why he does it, that's scary, man. And that's probably why the town is gripped with fear, because they have no idea why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I like what he's doing. It's shocking to me to hear him say that, like, I want to keep him in the shadows. I don't want to show Michael very much. Mm-hmm. And then, like, you see the Halloween trailer, and you're like, what the fuck's he talking about? Michael was everywhere, all over the fucking place.
He was killing them firefighters.
Just openly, just like, just fucking, I mean, like, it was close-ups left and right. But anyway, I get what he's saying. Like, hopefully there's some cool suspenseful moments that lead up to that, and you get the best of both worlds. You get the suspenseful 78 version of Michael tied up with a little bit of the brutality of H6, which we saw in the trailer. So that'd be cool.
He looks, I gotta be honest, man, just on the trailer alone, Michael looks more brutal than he did in H6. And up to this point, Mike and I always said the most brutal version of Michael Myers, and I'm even excluding Rob Zombie's version, Halloween 6, man, he was on fire. That motherfucker was Mike Tyson coming out the back ready to take someone's head off. In this one, it's Mike Tyson again, but Mike Tyson fresh out of jail, and he's biting ears off left and right, and he'll fuck you till you love it. And I'm not going to say the rest of it.
He also said, speaking about David Gordon Green was a little bit spicy in this article about the spoilers of the trailer. He said they asked him about the trailer that he saw, and David Gordon Green's response verbatim was, "There's a fuckload of spoilers, huh?" That was a long journey. So, like, apparently David Gordon Green was not stoked.
Unless he was being sarcastic. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I'm sure he was.
Because, I mean, it almost sounded like sarcasm. Like, he was like, oh, I didn't. Because, I mean, if you show too little, people will get pissed off you didn't show enough. And if you show too much, then people are going to bitch about you showed the whole movie. Mm-hmm. So I think he was being sarcastic. He's like, we gave the fans what they wanted, man. I mean, they wanted a great trailer. We gave them a great trailer. I do not think they revealed too much of that trailer. I know people are still pissed off about that, but I mean, do you really know the end of the movie? You cannot fucking tell me based on what you saw that you know how the movie ends. There's no fucking way.
Because fucking people read the goddamn leaked script. I don't know
why
the hell you
that's
do that to yourself.
That's your problem, dog. That's your problem. That's not mine.
But just read it to you one more time verbatim for the magazine. You can look into it how you want to look into it. He says there's a fuckload of spoilers, huh? Green size. That was a long journey. So I don't know, but it's kind of funny.
But it almost sounds like, because the quote that he said he sighs. He's like, God, you're gonna ask me about that? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, we gave the whole movie away. Jesus Christ.
But I do bet that a director really doesn't want a lot of his shit shown.
Probably not.
I mean, the studio does because they want to make sure you get asses in the seats. The director wants asses in the seats, but I'd say he's more concerned with the fact that the people in the seats enjoy themselves while they're there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was a little pissed that some of that came out in that trailer.
Maybe, but at the same time, I think that any director wants just a really good, intriguing story or a good trailer that gets people really motivated to go back and see it because it's been a while. 2018 was 2018, so that's 3 years ago. So he's like, hey, you know, I'm sure whoever puts together the trailer that edits it and makes, I mean, I'm sure that David Gordon Green's got some say in it. I really do. I mean, you're not going to tell me the director doesn't have any say in the trailer.
Well,
release.
he said himself that was a journey. So, I mean, there was discussions or something.
There's probably back and forth, like, what should we show?
Yeah, and I saw Ryan Turek, one of the producers of the movie, who's been pretty quiet for the past while, but he said at one point, he was like, about spoilers being in trailers. He was like, guys, go back to the beginning of time. There's always been spoilers in trailers. When we saw the closet scene or whatever in 2018, we said, yeah, that you got to keep that in the trailer. Something along those lines.
That was terrible. That was a shitty move.
I disagreed. Yeah.
By the way, Andrew Contreras says my dad is actually David Gordon Green, so I think I can say I know how this goes down. Listen, Andrew, you know what I feel like? I feel like that moment in the Patriot. Give you his last name. I feel like that moment at the Patriot where he was like, maybe we can circle around and take them, and he was like, only in dream, General. Only in dream is your father.
Yeah, and again, guys, if you read the script, hey, you're your own person. Hey, you're an adult. Maybe you're an adult, but either way, do what you want to do. Just don't tell me what the fuck's in that thing because I don't want to know. I want to keep our predictions here on this channel and all that shit fresh as fuck. I want to.
We're like Michael Jackson. We're like Michael Jackson.
Smell it and taste it.
Michael Jackson, keep it in the closet.
I need more snare in my headphones. I need more spoilers in my headphones.
I don't mind. I don't care if you if you saw it, man, if you read the script and you know all how it goes down, that's awesome, dude. But I mean, it's really shitty when you try to come in and you're like, hey, guess what? I just touched the movie for the first time and Michael dies at the end of Halloween Kills.
See you guys.
So bye.
Speaking
By
of
the way, I would respect that game because like you wouldn't stick around, you just come in and say it real quick and then leave.
Yeah. Bye. See ya. Another thing, speaking of, we talked about Rob Zombie for a second, and the only thing that really, other than the stuff we already covered that came out early, that Malek Akkad said was that and this. He said, as far as the movie pitches Malek Akkad received between Rob Zombie's H2 and Halloween 2018, he said they were crazy, bad ideas. Some of the pitches that I've heard,
I can imagine.
God, I waited it out for 7 years. I wasn't going to make a piece of junk like they wanted me to. Here's what's interesting about that, though.
That's awesome.
We read the script for Rob Zombie's 3D. Did not like it. So I could agree with the name.
Smells like skank.
But also, you know what else came out in that time that we loved? Halloween Returns.
Yeah, that's true.
And just because he's saying this doesn't mean he's talking about that script, but I wasn't going to make a piece of junk like they wanted me to. Halloween Returns was ready to go. It was announced, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was announced before they canceled it.
I just like, I read that and I like it. You know, Akkad is forever the staunch defender of Halloween. Like he doesn't want to put out a big piece of shit. He understood that Halloween 2 Rob Zombie was a bloody tampon that was slapped on everybody's face. And they're like, how's it fucking taste? That's a terrible allegory, but that's how it was. And he was like, I'm never going to put fans to that again. I'm not going to serve them crispy nuggets of shit so they can eat it and be like, how's it taste?
Yeah.
So
this franchise is a family thing for them.
I like it. Yeah. I that's what I took away from that was Akkad just defending not only the fans, but the legacy of that film. Cause he doesn't want to put out a big piece of, he knows how bad Resurrection was. Yeah. And he knows how bad Halloween 2 Rob Zombies was.
And again,
so he never wanted to revisit that again. And that also gives me major hope after Halloween ends. We talked about that. I think that Akkad has learned his lesson. He's never going to revisit what happened with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 or Resurrection. So it will be different. I mean, even if they do a Halloween Resurrection sequel, he will never allow a shit script like that to sneak through.
Yeah, and again, Drew Harry said if the Akkads turn out an idea, it's got to be pretty bad, LOL, because they've greenlit some horrible crap. And I understand where you're coming from there, but the thing about that is that you got to understand the difference in time. This little space of horror that we're in right now is the way things are, A24 and everything, you can get stuff done and have some creative influence on it and do it the way you want to. But back when his dad was in charge, and even afterwards for a little while there, when you're stuck working with the Dimensions and the Weinsteins of the world, it's got to be hard to have any say in anything or to get anything stopped from being made. I mean, they stopped. There's 2 fucking books written about all the shit that they got stopped from being made, that started because of a studio or this or that. Like back in the day before, and that's one of the reasons we're all so thankful for Blumhouse. Like everybody's like, you guys lick Halloween 2018's nuts or whatever.
I
like,
do, and I appreciate it. It tastes like creatine.
The fact that whether they do stuff you like or don't like sometimes, the fact that Blumhouse and Turek and all these people actually really give a fuck about Halloween, they're aligned with Akkad in that, is the difference between us getting Halloween 2018 and us getting Halloween Resurrection because of Weinstein or something like that. So it's not totally on the Akkads.
First off, go back and see Exhibit A, what I just said. They learned from their mistakes. Resurrection, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. What happened? Resurrection sucked big fat fucking donkey balls, veiny and nasty. They made Rob Zombie's Halloween for all intents and purposes. Was a pretty goddamn good movie, minus the 25 minutes of exploring why Michael likes to put dead dogs in his backpack. That's stupid. Everything else was great. That's funny because again, I said go back see Exhibit A. They learned from their mistake. They let Rob Zombie, who they trusted, make part 2. It fucking sucked. Guess what happens then? We get Halloween 2018. So again, no, the Akkads they greenlit it. Like you're going to say they greenlit bad shit. They greenlit one movie that was terrible, really. 5. 5 was bad. 6 was good. H2O, everybody loves it. I'm not a huge fan of it. Resurrection was garbage. But they learned their lessons.
Several of those movies were because of the fighting going on with Dimension. At the time.
And even The Curse of Michael Myers, we had the guy on, the dude that wrote the movie. There was so much backdoor politicking going on with that movie. I can't even believe the movie was made. Yeah, so the point being is, and because you know what happened? They realized how bad Halloween 5 was. Again, the Akkads, if anything else, they didn't greenlight bad stuff. They literally they did it once.
They also lived through Halloween 3 too. They lived through Halloween 3.
Well, they did 3 times. I'll say 3 times, but again, it was on the notion. It was on the notion of the fact Halloween 4 was a massive hit. Halloween 5, they figured it was going to be just as good, that they would understand to keep going in that direction. They did not do that. Halloween 6, they did what they could. H2O, everybody loves. Resurrection on the heels of. So again,
Drew said true. He said, I think Akkad's son isn't as fast to greenlight something like Resurrection again. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
And I'm not even offending. I like it. I thought his dad was great because his dad was the one that said, you're not going to kill Michael Myers off. Because they wanted to, John Carpenter wanted to kill him off.
Yeah, exactly. It's nuts, man. What they've had to go through over there to get these movies made. I'm glad they're still into it and still keeping it going.
Isn't that weird though? You would think it would be like easy for them to get him made since it's family owned. Like they'd be like, oh yeah, let's do it.
So many cooks in the kitchen.
Like they'd be like, yeah, I'd be like, all right, first off, fuck you. If you're not Gordon Ramsay, get out of here.
Yeah.
You idiot sandwich.
Speaking of the future, by the way, let's go ahead and pop over here. There's so much stuff to get to, you guys. Oh my god, it's like said earlier, it's coming out of my face how much stuff we got to get to. John Carpenter, there was also an interview in this with John Carpenter and talking about like Carpenter's involvement with it or whatever, whether or not he's going to have anything to do with this after Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. What's going to happen to Michael? What's going to happen to everybody? Carpenter's answer will surprise the shit out of you. He said, I'd like to caution you, and it sounds like he's joking when he says this, but he says, I'd like to caution you that if Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends make money, I don't know that you really have seen the end, laughs, maybe of my involvement. Maybe they will say, we want a fresh approach. Let's get this bum out of here. Whatever. See, I've changed my whole feel later in life. I embrace everything. Everything is wonderful. So Carpenter's even not closing the door on himself coming back to I love more shit.
I always think, and I know it's not going to happen, but I always hold out hope. Like maybe one day I can touch that nipple. Is that he comes back and directs one more movie.
I wish.
Just as his swan song to the Halloween Forever, like it's done. It'd be cool if he called it Halloween Forever, like Batman Forever. I don't want that to happen. I'm just think if it was John Carpenter doing it, call it Halloween Forever, and it would be John Carpenter directing it. But
that'd be huge,
that's a great statement because I think that what he's saying is like, maybe he's like he's got the Mark Hamill syndrome, where Mark Hamill for a long time was just like, he was very against the Star Wars fandom. He didn't give a shit about the Star Wars fandom. He thought it was embarrassing because he wanted to go do different projects, which I get that. He didn't want to be pigeonholed as Luke Skywalker. And maybe what John Carpenter's realized, and John Carpenter, by the way, is he's not a one-trick pony at all. Like, this motherfucker knows how to do, he can juggle balls with his butt cheeks. He's so talented. Like, you're talking about Big Trouble in Little China. You're talking about Escape from New York. You're talking about Escape from LA. The Thing. You're talking about Assault on Precinct.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think for Halloween fans, or Halloween specifically, he was just like, you know what? I did that movie. It was fun. It was different. It was interesting. And then I wanted to move on from it. But we are all of us Halloween fans are straight herpes. And he can't get rid of us, no matter how much he scratches and how much mouth tracks he takes. We just won't go away. We will always show up on your lip at the worst time when you're at Thanksgiving dinner. And he's like, you know what? I think he's like, you know what? I'm just going to embrace the fans and be like, yeah, you know, if they want another movie, let's have another movie. And I'll take part in it as long as the Accods want me a part of it. Yeah. And I would just imagine how cool it would be to get John Carpenter to direct one more movie.
I know, man. I've always said I want it. I want it in my cockles. I really want it bad. I want to see it. It'd be so fascinating to see what he did, man. And he could do something that everybody hated, which would be really, you know, it's a high risk situation because like if Carpenter comes out and like does something everybody fucking hates, it's like, oh god,
it could really hurt him. No. Well, I don't think it's gonna hurt his legacy. It's just the fact it's John Carpenter, man. If you
he's got some stinkers already, you know what I mean? He's got
did you say stinkers? I thought you said he's got some sneakers. I was like, yes, he does. The PF
nice
Flyers. The PF Flyers. It can make any kid jump higher and run faster.
The stress of it all, though, man. He doesn't. He said in that article too. He's like, I've not closed the door on directing. He's like, it would just have to have a fuck ton of money and a fuck ton of time, and whatever I need, it'd have to be a really comfortable situation.
Yeah, and it does suck that Deborah Hill's not with him anymore. So that would, you know, because Deborah Hill would be awesome if you could get John Carpenter and Deborah Hill to come. Oh my god.
Yes. David Gordon Green commented on the lack of comedic relief in Kills. He said the second chapter gets dark and aggressive. We'll see if audiences are able to take that shift. Personally, I feel it's respectful to those characters to let them have an outlet for their outrage. Sounds like a band, outlet for your outrage. Well, maybe a song, maybe an album, rather than to try to soften it with more comfortable invitations to the frustrations and tragedies of their evening. That's a lot of big words, a lot of syllables, Dave. But I totally agree with what he's saying. While I'm not one who shits all over, like, yeah, a couple jokes in Halloween 2018 didn't land. Big deal. A couple of them did. Julian was funny as fuck. Didn't really take me out of the movie. That being said, I'm totally fine with nixing the humor completely. One, because people just didn't like it, and I want everybody to enjoy everything. And two, because really don't need it. I mean, even though I don't mind the horror in 2018, it wasn't necessary for the movie, except for maybe like Guinea Gardner I thought was hilarious. And some of the kids, you want them to have that stuff together. But all these people are pissed and everything's dark, so you really don't need any comedy, and I'm fine with that. What the fuck? David Gordon Green basically said there's not going to be any comedy this time around. And I'm totally cool with that. Yeah.
That's just like our channel.
Another thing that happened, talking about, I know I'm trying to get through this. There's just so much to get to, and I want to make sure we get to it all. He said that I'm terrible at what I do for a living. Oh, no, that was my mom. David Gordon Green on Carpenter's score this time around, speaking of John Carpenter, says, this film has some different tones that we're exploring, and he very generously gave us the musical escort to these tones. There's some really vibrant new tracks. To me, the soundtrack is even better than the last one. Carpenter himself said, I'm very, very proud of this score and the movie. This is what horror films should be. That's huge praise from John Carpenter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, I'm not worried about the John Carpenter score at all. I mean, it's going to be amazing. I can't. I mean, are you going to buy the album?
Yeah.
I'm so old, dude. I'm so old. It's like, hey, do you want to meet me at the CD Central and buy the new CD when it comes out?
Just do it on Spotify, but yeah, I can.
I don't know. Yeah, I still go out and I would buy the CD. Like, I just want to own the original soundtrack. But yeah, I'm not worried about John Carpenter. That's awesome.
Oh, can you say "Goddamn you, Michael"? Someone asked for that earlier. It was Rats.
Goddamn you, Mike! I mean, which one do you want though? Like, by the way, we were doing that one that Mike used for the outro. Sometimes like, goddamn you, that I had to scream that. I thought we were gonna get the cops called on us.
Oh yeah, it was.
We were doing the Shining one.
Yeah, that was a good time though. I had fun. If the cops haven't been called on us yet, then what are you gonna do?
They
Maybe
probably
that's-
have. And they just then somebody
shut
told
up,
them like, no, because I'm not. The cops are probably I'm not going in there. I don't want to be infected with like unfunniness.
Hey, Mark Dorman's got 1 hour till quitting time. Congratulations,
Hey,
Mark. It's almost the weekend, baby. Hey, a
Hey
lot of
man,
people
you're
are only,
almost
like,
done.
lot of
1
people-
hour,
Yeah.
60 minutes, and you's out. Diane
Lot-
Sawyer, eat your heart out, bitch.
A lot of people almost off work, which means we got to get this bitch going. Some other stuff that was said in this motherfucker that I found quite interesting in my Panther regions. We already read that. We already talked about that.
You know what would be
Talked
cool
about
though? I didn't think of this. What if John Carpenter? I know he would never do
I
this,
hate
but I'm
that
just
we
saying.
both have ADD.
What are you trying to do?
Nothing. No, go ahead. I'm
Oh
still
no,
trying
I
to-
was gonna say. Well, I was gonna say, wouldn't it be cool if John Carpenter did something? You remember Psycho 3, the synth kind of. Was it Psycho 3 where it was like synth?
I don't remember which one it was that they switched up. I mean, he kind of did that in Halloween 2 with the score, though. He synthed it
Yeah.
up. You know, dun, dun, dun.
I like
I
like the synth version of the Psycho theme, so I think it'd be cool if they did that. Like I don't know.
The notes in the trailer kind of were like that. They really were. Did I already? Okay. Yes. Now this is something we already knew about a little bit. But here we go. David Gordon Green on talking about the actual story being way bigger than it was in 2018. It's just interesting the way he puts it. He says, as Green puts it, Kills is a much bigger story than a man with a knife in a house, victim by victim, which is literally what you saw in Halloween 2018. He said, It's the plague of fear as word hits Haddonfield of what's out there, and some of it's true and some of it's not. It's building the myth of this murder. It's a larger, pervasive spread of fear and how that affects a community. Again, nothing new here that we didn't know, but he's just he's a magician with words. I like the way he fucking says shit.
He really is. I don't know. I just get lost in his eyes and his words. I want to have his babies, and I can't do that.
Lick his shaped head.
I'm gonna adopt a baby and be like, "Hi, I'm ready. I've got everything ready for you." But yeah, I well, it's also, you know, I mentioned that earlier in the stream. I like what he said, and it reminds me of the Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker kind of syndrome.
Yep.
The fact that it's not going to center around just a guy going around and killing people house to house, knife to knife. It's going to be the idea, the psychological fear that it instills in the people of Haddonfield. I think that's great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a sexy experience.
Goddamn, we live in a great time, guys. I mean, these guys know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, come on. I love it.
We live in a society, Jay.
We do. Oh my God. Why tell lies?
If you want justice, do not
Oh,
lie.
dude, I'm so fucking stoked that this company's got the rights to this movie, because they're doing exactly what, if we were filmmakers, this is the kind of stuff that we would be doing. So
We haven't looked at the pictures yet. So let's take a look at these
I didn't know there was
pictures.
pictures.
Oh, there's so many pictures, my friend. You haven't seen these yet.
Do
Unless
you see
some of them have leaked, but-
Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies?
naked. But I'm sure you've seen some of these. They've been popping up. The first one, I know you're on a little lag there, so it'll show up for you in a second. But the first one is just when you think you can't get an even fucking deeper, closer look at Michael Myers' mask, another picture comes out and completely redeems itself. This is so fucking sexy, dude. What Christopher
my
Nelson has
God.
done here. That fucking lip, that goddamn scar. I see how I got these scars, like coming up on the side there. And the lip goes down from the burn, and then it goes up because of some damage to it. Oh my God! And the ears burnt off sexy crispy crackers.
Crispity, crunchy, peanut buttery. Holy shit. That shit looks good as fuck, though. That is straight. Goes, say what they used to call me down at the precinct. Say it! Two-Face. Two-Face! Harvey Dent! Eat your heart out. Holy shit, that looks good.
I am Two-Face. Yeah, dude, it looks fucking amazing, man. And
I love it.
It's way more burnt in this picture too. Like he got more fucked up than we really thought.
And I do again, and I just want to point out this, and I know this is a small thing not for us, but it's a small thing for some people. Notice that they tucked the mask in, and now that motherfucker's wearing a turtleneck, basically. I like it. He is warm for winter, and he is burnt like a motherfucker, and he's ready to do business. I love it.
I'm here to fuck. All right, now here's photo number 2. This one, it's just interesting because it shows a little bit of the craziness going on inside of the hospital there. It's a wacky fucking time at Haddonfield Memorial. You've got the cop over there. You've got this lady, Karen, over here about to complain to the manager. You've got the doctors on the ground picking up somebody. Maybe they dropped their books. Actually, it kind of looks like the sheriff walked past that lady in white, smacked the books out of her hand like a bully, and then just kept walking. And then the doctor came over to try to help her pick him up. And then this lady back here on the phone.
That's like it looks like the sheriff and the dude behind. They look like that's me and Mike more pushing our way back in to the karaoke bar and be like, you said what? We can't sing anymore. You said what? We can't sing together, huh? It also looks it looks cool. I mean, I'm really delayed on when I see the pics, so it's hard. But yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it looks nice. It's very well lit. It's a very well lit picture.
I just love all the chaos going on in the background, man.
It kind of looks like a State Farm commercial, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
It does. And the sheriff kind of looks like not the sheriff, but the deputy kind of looks like Michael Biehn in Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Terminators don't have feelings, Sarah. I do. But yeah, he's got a kind of Michael Biehn thing going on. Only maybe
I like the girl on the black
jerk.
shirt there on the left side. She's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be looking at the camera." She looks like she fucked up and looked at the camera.
She kind of does. She looks like she's about to complain to the hospital manager. So in this photo here, just a picture, good old David Gordon Green still has hair on his head in this one, hanging out with Nick Castle. Another shot of the mask. Nick loves that fucking mask, man. Every time Nick talks to somebody on anything, he's like, "Here's the mask. Here it is." He loves it, and I love him for it. But yeah, that's just. I mean, there's nothing really to it, unless you want to take a deeper look at the stage behind.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, all the stuff going on behind them. Nothing.
David Gordon Green looks like he's asking Nick Castle he's asking him to borrow some money for gas. Like it looks like his son. Like David Gordon Green looks like Nick Castle's son. He's like, "So Dad, I just need $20, and $10 of it is for gas, and the other $10 is for me to get some food as I make. I'm gonna do some applications today." Because Nick Castle is like, "Son, did you apply for some jobs? Because you need to get a job, son."
What are you gonna put?
He's like, "Look at this mask. You want to end up like this crispy fucker?" This is what happens when you don't have a job and you get hooked on methamphetamine.
He's laughing. He's like, because he knows. He's like, "Okay, son. Yeah. Did you finish your chores? Did you finish editing the film? Because unless you finish editing the film, we already talked about this. You're not going. You're not taking the."
It also looks like it kind of looks like Nick Castle probably sold a joke that David Gordon Green didn't really find funny, and he's like trying to be like all cool about it. He's like, "Yeah, anyway." So you need to get back on set. I love Nick Castle though. I mean, dude, what a humble, nice guy. What a sweet dude. Yeah, really nice guy. And I like that he's holding the mask. Yeah, I think he's proud of it, dude. Like he's looking at it, he's like, this is all from 1978. Like this all came here from 1978. Can you believe it? David Gordon Green's like, "Yeah, I've been a fan." Okay.
Yeah, we've talked about this, Nick, 17 times. Can you please just do your part now? No, I love Nick Castle, man. He seems like an awesome dude. Not gonna have any controversy coming up around that guy. Watch, I'll say that now. Something will happen, but
don't say anything.
Oh my goodness gracious! Now this picture confused the shit out of me. You'll see when it pops up. Of course, you know where Danny McBride's at. He's in the fucking bar.
Come be gay with father and me. Come be gay with father and me.
He's talking to Anthony Michael Hall. Anthony Michael Hall's got a nice Christmas sweater on. I don't know what's going on here because they're in the bar. Are we gonna have a karaoke scene in Halloween Kills?
Oh,
That's
man,
what
that'd be cool.
Fucking know. There's a microphone there. There's that guy who's about to sing a Garth Brooks song with a mustache at the bottom.
Dude, it'd be funny if Danny McBride is looking at Anthony Michael Hall and it's like, "He don't even have a license, Lisa. He don't even have a license."
Hey man, I fall for no banana, no tailpipe.
He was like, "Look, goes, look at his haircut. Anybody with a haircut like that is an asshole. Anybody with a haircut like that is an asshole." She punched me right in the family jewels, man. I'm talking about Weird Science, Anthony Michael Hall, man. He's like, maybe Danny McBride's like, "Dude, that's the guy from Breakfast Club, and he's fucking Tommy, bro." But yeah, dude. But if there is a karaoke scene, I guess that'd be cool.
Yeah, there's a microphone there. Maybe there's
what if it's when the man comes around?
Chicken days. I can't wait for someone to be like, "Oh my god, it's so clear that you guys don't work in the industry." There's a poll there. And it's got a bunch of lines on it. So there's a good possibility they're also just doing voice work or some shit. I don't know. Because, karaoke, you don't need the lyrics unless this is the worst karaoke bar in history. And like you have to go through the papers to find the song you're going to sing. They don't have like the new screens yet. So you got to find like your sheet music to sing your karaoke songs.
Dude, the guy behind Anthony Michael Hall, he looks like Rob Lowe's son. Or a guy that poses for Sears catalog, like sweaters.
He looks like he was the guy next up for the job that Zac Efron took.
Colin McCormick says, what if they're in a band? Like they have earpieces. I don't think the earpieces have any. I think the earpieces are there for like.
I think that's set workers.
Yeah, I don't think that they're actually in the scene.
But
what's that motherfucker? Look at the bottom right, dude. Look at the bottom. Does that look like Robert De Niro? With the mustache?
Yeah,
the mustachio?
That's the guy who's going to sing Garth Brooks later.
That motherfucker looks like the dude on the bottle of Tapatia hot sauce.
Tapatia.
Tapatia.
But it would be funny if they were in a band like Tommy Doyle and the Heartbreakers or some shit. What was John Carpenter's band name that he was in with Nick Castle?
The Baconators.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it'd be funny if they threw back like a Easter egg to them, and that's what their band name was. That'd be fucking wild for sure. But yeah, that's a neat little behind the scenes photo that I like to see in my crotchal regions a lot. A couple super chats here before we go into the final photos of the evening. How awesome is it that Michael Myers, Nick Castle directed Major Payne? He'll clean out your colon faster than a burrito with extra guacamole sauce.
With extra guacamole sauce. Yeah, I like that. He said Major Payne. He was like, I gotta dig down deeper to my repertoire. He's like, you gonna finish that? He goes, Major Payne, what boy? What? There's a man back in my closet. Boom, 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 boom. If he's still in there, he ain't happy.
We fucking love Major Payne, if you can't tell. That'd be a fun
we never did commentary for that. That'd be a great commentary.
That'd be a great commentary, man. It is weird to think that Nick Castle fucking directed that. I want to have him on to talk about that, not just Michael Myers. Lucas Patrick, thanks, buddy. Really appreciate that. He says,
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd love to talk about Major Payne.
Fucking A. Lucas Patrick, I want to talk about that pink cupcake, what it tastes like. I don't know why, dude. Every time I see that movie, I want to eat that pink cupcake, even though I know it's going to give me the shits.
What is it?
The pink cupcake that he eats in Major Payne.
Yeah, he fucking farted and knocked that. Damn, G, he almost put you in a coma.
Really appreciate that, Lucas Patras. That's generous, you man. He says, "Hey, you guys could you guys live?" I can't fucking say. He said, could Loomis give my sister Jenna a happy birthday? Thanks for all the laughs. Keep up the good work, my guys. Happy birthday for Jenna.
Jenna, happy goddamn birthday to you. I like that your friend, your brother, has asked me to do this for you on your birthday, your day of birth. Even though, at the same time, it's not like I got enough goddamn things to do. It's not like I got a million things going on, I don't know, to keep Michael Myers off the streets, so he doesn't stab you, Jenna Jameson. I saw your pawns. I didn't do it because I wanted to watch it. It was part of research. Jenna Jameson. Oh, you know, that's a different Jenna. I got confused. Anyway, Jenna, have a good birthday. How old are you? You better be. Don't you tell me you better be old enough to have this conversation, because I don't want to be saying Jenna Jameson and you're like 16 years old.
Dr. Chalice never asks how old they are.
I don't give a fuck, you dirty whore. Not you, Jenna. Have a good birthday.
Gary Catlin says that guy in the back looks like Will from Freddy vs. Jason. LOL. I can see that from the picture.
That's what the fuck? The guy Ritter.
John Ritter.
John Ritter. Yeah.
Ritter.
John Ritter's his son, or that was
John Ritter's son. Yeah, he was handsome.
Yeah.
The both
good looking guy, yeah.
What are you gonna do? Peter Meekin says, "Hey guys, just booked the day off for Halloween's release date. I got a bet with my friend. After watching Halloween Kills, we have to have a shot for every kill. Gonna be a bad hangover coming out, I think. Don't fucking do it, Peter. Now listen, Peter.
You'll die.
Listen here, Peter. God damn it, don't you
You'll die.
There's gonna be like 25 deaths in that movie, man. 26, 30 deaths or some shit. Don't do it. Maybe a light beer.
It's gonna be, you know what? Just go on YouTube and look up the dude. For $1,000, he took 40 or 50 shots of Patron, and see how that, like, he literally is cool for 20 minutes. Like, yeah, bro, I did it. And he's like, oh, well. It's fucking immediately he dies.
Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want that evil, Ricky Bobby. Anthony Stamps, thanks, buddy. Says, do you think Jason's waiting for mommy and daddy to stop fighting over who gets custody of him so he can come out and play with Michael? Yeah, he's waiting on people to quit being greedy fucking douchebags. You have the cheapest fucking movie to make in the world. It's a guy in a forest at a public park with a fucking hockey mask on and a machete. It's like, it's weird that the cheapest franchise to make would be causing this much fuss over some goddamn money biscuits.
I think Jason is just waiting for his mom to shut the fuck up so he can get out there. But yeah, no, yeah, it really is stupid. Like the whole lawsuit thing with Jason and Friday the 13th. And again, I know that we get accused of being Michael Myers fanboys, which we are. I'm war fans, but I do like Friday the 13th and I do like Jason. And I love the 2009 remake. I thought the 2009 remake was awesome. It was really well done. It was amazing. And I would love to see what a studio would do with Friday the 13th. But unfortunately, you just have these, greedy little assholes that run the franchise that we can't. It sucks, man, but hopefully it all gets worked out one day.
And Deedaloo-Ronies, my friend.
I'm looking forward to 2088 when it's finally released.
Yeah,
the new one.
I can't wait. Hey,
I'll be long dead, but
while you were talking, I put up this picture so that it would show up for you about the right time. It should be coming up any second now. This is another behind-the-scenes picture from that article, and I feel like I saw this before somewhere, but I can't say where. I can't really put my wiener on it. But this is punk David Gordon Green. When he had the shaved head. I guess this was after the picture that Castle was taken. But this is him with...
That's the stress, man. That's the stress of running the movie. His hair fell out.
Can we go ahead and say James Jude Courtney's the second best Michael Myers, at least? Can we go ahead and say that?
I think we already said that.
Yeah, I think there's some great ones out there, don't get me wrong. But Dick Warlock and such, but I think with the little bit we've seen of kills, and he's just perfect, man. He's an actual, he's a full-on stunt man. Fucking just look at all the shit he's been through in this shot alone.
Yeah.
From his hand to his fucking crispiness.
Well, not to mention the fact that he actually said he studied what Nick Castle did in the first one. Like, he's the first one I ever saw of any of the Michael Myers, which I did. There's quite a few of them that I like. But he's the only one that I ever saw that he studied Nick Castle's movements. He wanted to get him down. He even said in 2018 that it was very cat-like. So he tried to mimic as much as what Nick Castle did for Halloween 78 for Halloween 2018. So of course he's the second best. He literally took it seriously and wanted to be the best for the fans. So
he takes it super fun.
I don't think anybody actually would argue with that. Like, they're not going to say Tyler Mane, fucking big guy, scary. He was Sabretooth. But he's not like he's no David Gordon Green. You're no Sharon Stone. I am shocked at how by the way, David Gordon Green wore a Halloween t-shirt to set that day, which is kind of like wearing a band's t-shirt to their concert. I don't think you're supposed to do that. But and also I hate to shit on David Gordon Green so much in this picture, but he has really small hands. That's all I want to say. I bet it feels huge in his hands. Can I say that? His dick is huge. Yeah. but it looks like with the bandaged hand, it does. I know it's not, but it either looks like a dog squeaky toy in James Jude Courtney's hand or a lettuce sandwich. It looks like a lettuce sandwich. He's like in the middle of a lunch break.
I like the.
And then David Gordon Green's like, no, you got to pull the hand up higher. Look, it's going to come down into the cranium, and you've got to be able to turn it and twist it. You can't just be like, oh. What are you talking about, James? I thought you were professional.
James Jude Courtney's like, hey, give me my fucking knife back.
James actually getting ready to grab him on the shoulder and pull him close. Like, listen, if you ever say that to me again, you're going to be leaving in a paramedic.
He does look like he's about to spit him like a top. Fuck him. What?
Well, maybe he's like saying, hey, David, you know what? I was just thinking this. I think I need better lighting in scene 16.
Maybe some lines. Can I get some lines of Coke? And in the movie. Here's another shot. I think this is the last photo that we're going to look at. Actually, I've got to add another one on here. We're missing one. We're missing a butte. But this is just one we saw. We saw it in the trailer. It's Allison, Lonnie, Cameron. You can see, I think Nurse Chambers is back there. You can see a doctor that looks like Kel from Kenan and Kel. I think
she's still smoking. Stupid bitch.
She's always smoking. I think you see the outline of Kyle Richards' face. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, not a whole lot to that image except for the top of that car. The roof of that car is fucking filthy. It's disgusting. Like, would you fucking put a saber-toothed tiger back there?
You know what? It looks like Cameron's like looking at her like, you're still mad at me? You're still mad at me for making out that cheetah bitch?
Yes. He's like, please don't take this out on me. I just saw what you did to Michael 5 minutes ago. Don't do that to my wiener. Sorry about your phone. Where's this fucking picture at? I'm trying to find it here. Okay, here it is.
I said Lonnie looks like Russell Crowe. Yeah, he does. He looks like Russell Crowe in that when he was like he was like that road rage thing.
Oh my god, he does, dude. Holy shit.
He also kind of looks like Sammy. He looks like a fat Sammy Hagar. Why can't this be love? It's got what it takes.
It's got what it takes. I love that fucking song, by the way. Cody Buchanan says, when Kills comes out, I'm going to suit up and wear my Kills mask and walk in the movie theater. Can't wait for that. Cody, actually, I really wouldn't do that, my friend. This day and age with all the stuff going on in the world, I wouldn't do that. But if you do, film it and let us know how it goes. I'm kidding. Don't film it. Don't do it because you might get shot.
I don't know. Well, I mean, they know it's Halloween. I mean, what I would do if you're gonna do that, because I do know that people do cosplay. I like, especially for like the Star Wars release. I saw people were coming in dressed as like Darth Maul, or they were dressed as not Sidious, fucking Kylo Ren. So, and you had the mask on and Vader. I mean, just call ahead. I would say the same thing is call ahead to the theater and be like, listen, so I'm not going to freak you out, but I'm going to come in as Michael Myers. And is that cool? And just see what they say.
You sounded just like an unsure like host at a restaurant. They're like, hey, do you have any tables? Call ahead. Yeah, you should probably at least call ahead.
That's the voice I would use. Yeah, we're actually down for renovations. Let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Thanks.
Yeah. This last picture should be popping up any second. By the way, in that last picture, Lonnie does look like he definitely has a pot brownie in one of his leather jacket pockets. For whenever this is done, he's gonna be like, now we celebrate with this pot brownies and this mixtape I made for you. But no, this picture here, the last picture we're gonna look at. There's a lot of dirty jokes you can make about this picture right here. Michael, he looks like when
looks like he's comparing his dick size to the knife.
Well, he looks like when you're having really just hot sex, and the girl bends over in front of you and you're like, God, I want to do something wrong, but I'm not exactly sure where I want to stick it right now. And she's just laying there waiting for you and like, I got to do something weird. And you just can't figure out where to put it. That is exactly what's going on in Michael, except for it's just an old dude.
Well, he's doing this.
Dead,
if you notice, he's doing this. He was like, so my dick is this small and my knife is this big. Maybe. So he's literally doing this. He's doing this.
No one can see.
Oh, okay. Well, like he's doing with his thumb and index finger. He's showing how small. He's like looking and comparing his dick size to his knife.
Yeah.
And maybe his wiener came out a little bit. Maybe his suit got ripped and he's seeing it. And he was like, oh, it's kind of crispy and it's that small, but this knife is this big. So now I'm more angry and I'm going to get more violent.
He looks like he's about to honestly stick that knife right in between that dude's butt cheeks.
Maybe he's like, well, never mind. The picture cut out. Never mind. God, this delay sucks my asshole. It really does. I fucking hate it. I hope
you gotta get a laptop to put there so you can.
No, I've had it. It's still a delay. I'm gonna. You know what? It's like fucking. Just can you fart in my mouth? Fucking world and life. Can you just do that? I'll suck a fucking fart out of your ass because that's what it feels like half the time anymore.
Honestly, I hope Michael didn't try to wipe with that hand because that is going to be unsanitary for what's going on there with his open wound there. But yeah, we know what happens next. Thank God we know what happens next. Michael picks up the knife as we saw in the trailer and stabs the guy in the back.
Yeah.
Because it looks here like he's about to put it in his oven. And by his oven, I mean his asshole.
I had a sister named Judith. She had sex with this kid. It all ended awkwardly quick. I stabbed her in the tits. I know it probably wasn't cool of me, but I just went crazy.